Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for To Your Eternity, Season 2, Episode 4. So, last time we had a lot of information about the world after the time skip that had happened. It's been roughly, I think they were saying 200 years since the inception of the Guardians, which means that around 200 years is from at least the start of the show, or from when Hayase learned about Fushi and started this movement, writing books and doing her thing, right? Um, we now have the Church of Bennett, who is against Fushi, and it seems like there could be some kind of like holy war or something being started soon. I wouldn't be surprised because they're trying to get Fushi, but Bond protected him for now. Um, we had the church flag, which is pretty cool, using the symbol from that they used on the hands of the slaves and everything of Jananda and stuff like that. With like the three different churches representing three swords in that same symbol. I thought that was really neat, although I think one of them was the Church of Bennett, which seems like they're going to be antagonistic, so I don't know if the other two are, but we'll have to learn more about those. We were introduced to Bon. That's just how I wrote his name down. They said that at one point, which is a lot easier to say than his full name. We have his little sister Pocoa and little brother Torta, which Torta is actually the one that the father has chosen to succeed him, but Bon is still trying to gain that ascension himself. You know, it seems like he wants to be king and all that, but you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Bond just because he's that weird, goofy, quirky character, which in a show like this and in a world like this, where it's very like dark, people dying, it's very like medieval-y kind of thing, like Bond's personality and the way he dresses and everything is like just a little weird to me. But he also seems like he's really capable, and it seems like there's more to him because every time Fushi tries to like sneak away, Bond is like on point, knows where he is, when he is, what he's doing. You know, it just seems pretty impressive at the moment. So I'm wondering if there's more to Bond that we haven't really seen yet. So I'm holding out. I'll see how I feel about him as the show goes on. But anyways, guys, let's get started with this episode, shall we, and see what happens this time. We're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Money! Trapped. Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. The eye change and everything, briefly. Um, I also talked about the possibility of, you know, I mentioned Holy War there in the intro, but how that would affect Fushi is something I'm dreading, right? Because he hates that the knockers are killing people. What happens when people start killing people in his name, right? Or, you know, to try to get him kind of thing. Well, one side I guess would be trying to protect him, the other side would be trying to kill him, right? And but it would still be kind of because of him. I want to know what Plant Lady's about in the opening. Alright. The young man who can see. Tasty peach. Makes me laugh every time. My god. So he is gonna try to stay. Oh my god. It's gonna blow everyone up. Oh shit. Jesus, bot. Coming with you? Interesting. Who is that? Jesus. The Queen of Hearts. But must be nice to be able to make a bed to rest on whenever you want. Builderistas. I'll make you a wall. Where? Ah. He just takes the window. That's cool, making it through the feet. Yeah. Dead. Oh shit. Oh shit. Not looking the right way at all. See, Bond's very perceptive. It's really interesting having a protagonist that can change the way Fushi does. It hasn't come into play as much for like long term. This is the first time that Fushi's really been in a new form for kind of a long time. It's just really interesting. Like, it's weird to look at, you know, Perona's face as him. Even though I know in the first episode the boy was different than what Fushi is, you know. What's with their mouth? I could just become one. He'll dead you? Is that what she just said? Oh! Hmm. Kind of ominous that she doesn't know. I mean, I guess maybe she's just... Oh my god. You can make a new one. Ugh. Oh. Oh no. This poor guy. Toto. Someone like you? What does that mean? Like poor or something? Hmm. It's that same feeling. Uh, Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that little sparkly light is the same thing. I thought it was just like a joke kind of thing coming from Kahaku, but I think it's like this, like, Fushi can feel the sensations of other people around him, right? So Fushi might learn about relationships and stuff. And I hope it's me. And you stay in that form. Turns into, like, Piorin mid-banging. Just, like, does, like, old lady laugh. Oh! Sorry. Back into that form. You see, like, Kahaku in the background, like, miserable. Hey. Spreading the good word about Fushi and what he does. It's kind of nice. In their silly, weird way, but, you know. You gonna try to smile? Oh, it's an okay smile. I thought it was gonna be like a really bad smile or something. You know, the Church of Bennett peoples. Alright. Hmm. What? Snotty. Hmm. Can he see, like, we've seen the spirit of, like, March and others and stuff? Is he able to see those spirits? If Fushi was to become Bon, yeah. Holy shit, are we getting into... If Fushi were to become Bon eventually, could he gain that ability and see, like, March in them if they're still around? Huh. Is this why he's not up for kingship anymore? Is because his family thinks he's weird for talking to people that they can't see? Huh. That, like... his handkerchief. That's why it's so special to him. That's why he was crying earlier in the episode. I thought he was just eccentric and weird. That's why he cares so much about the handkerchief. That makes so much more sense. That endears me to his character so much more than him just freaking out about a handkerchief where I thought he could just go buy a new one, you know? Damn. Damn, Bon! That voice. just his usual thing again. Oh shit, what are they doing to him? Like, trying to exercise something from him? What? Yeah. Jesus, what are they about to do to him? Make it through the night? Wow. Is he telling the audience this, or is he telling Fushi all this? Like, who's he talking to as, like, he's narrating his past? If she's a spirit, how did she make something physical? Right? Hmm. No way. Whoa, he spoke to... Oh, so the person that was talking to him before... It would make sense because we're... I keep forgetting about the time skip. We're so far... Whoa. Damn. That's when he learned he wasn't going to be king. That voice acting. uh, Damn. So can he still see the spirits even now? Or was it only Okay. I think he still can see them. I wasn't sure because they were talking about like his memories of being a kid getting hazy and stuff. I wasn't sure if it was something where only as a kid he was able to see him. That's also the spirit of the owl. Probably the one that followed Tonari. That's how he's always able to find Fushi. Oh shit, Oniguma. The biggest shadow. Oh, it's the bear. Wow. So Oniguma stayed with him. Oh, look at them all. Is this when he first entered town? Maybe? Or is this just current? Maybe this is currently. Damn, that could be a way of communicating. Like, even if Fushi becoming Bon doesn't give Fushi that ability, maybe through Bon, Fushi could talk to these, like, be like a middleman, right? Holy shit. That was like a mind blower of an episode, I gotta say. Like, I liked learning about Bon's past, but obviously, like, probably the biggest reveal since the beginning of this show, I'd say, since, like, the reveal of what Fushi is, you know? I'd say one of the biggest things is that the spirits that we've seen since the beginning, right, are real, right? Like, they still exist in the world and can be communicated with in a way by certain people, right? But it's not like they're just gone, which is just fascinating, right? I wasn't sure, like, I thought it was just like an artistic thing. Like, I always wondered, right? If you watch my reaction to season 1, I had my wonders of, like, every now and then, like, even after, like, I think what really sold it for me was after the loss of March, we saw March be kind of like that spirit, and I thought it was just something like, hey, audience, we want to make you cry, so here you go. Here's this thing. That's it, by the way, guys, for episode 4. Sorry. But yeah, I thought it was just something to, like, really, like, push the fact that, like, March is dead and stuff, and you see her spirit, and she's trying to stop Perona from killing herself and stuff, and it's sad shit, and I'm crying, and, you know, and all that. But then March showed up later on when Gugu died, right? Like, she was in that room when Gugu's spirit was, like, watching over Fushi. We also saw March show up, which that right there is what led me to really start wondering, like, are these spirits, like, really real, you know, in a way? Or is this just another bit of symbolism for the audience? But it really made me wonder, because I was like, because why would March, like, still be here? If it was, like, something for the audience, I mean, it could just be like, hey, audience, you remember her? You know, and now there's another one kind of thing. But no, like, all these people in Fushi's life are following him. And now I really wonder, the people who aren't following him, is it because their spirits haven't been able to find him? Or is it because their spirits have found somewhere else to be, right? Like, so for example, for one, Piorin. Sorry, I wanted to talk about someone else for a second, but then Piorin came to my mind. Piorin asked the Black One to reincarnate her, so her spirit was reincarnated to be something useful for Fushi. The kind of sad thing is she could have been one of these spirits just following and being around Fushi and exploring, like, with him, even if Fushi can't see her. She could have still been by his side if she didn't ask for that reincarnation, right? Which is just, like, a really interesting thing. I wonder if that reincarnation is ever gonna, like, come into play, especially now that, like, potentially spirits are real. I'd accept anything. If somehow Piorin, like, did reincarnate and did somehow, like seeing Fushi, like, triggered her memories in some way too or something, I would be perfectly okay with it, you know? But I don't know that that'll ever happen. That being said, going back to the other stuff, like, not Piorin, what's the other... I just said it this episode, wow, and I lost it. God damn it. Shit, what's her name? The girl that he looks like a lot in these episodes, right? Perona. There we go. Jesus Christ. I had to go back to my notes. Um, like Perona, if you guys remember back in season 1, she had a sister that was sacrificed to Oniguma in the past, right? And that's why she was so protective of March, because I was like, if Perona, because we know Perona died, obviously by this point she died, if anything, by old age, but we know that she died because Fushi was able to take her form and Hayase admitted to killing her and stuff like that. But either A, the spirit couldn't find Fushi because he was all the way across the world when, or really far away, maybe not across the world, but really far away when Perona died, so maybe she was just never able to meet back up after all these years. She's maybe been like wandering trying to find them. So she'd never been able to meet up with March's spirit and Fushi himself, kind of thing. Or the whole point I've been trying to get to is it's possible that Perona found her sister, right? And just kind of like went off with her and is living. Same with some of the other kids aren't there. It seems like some of the big, like Tonari is there, but some of those other kids that Fushi takes the form of aren't there. So maybe they met up with each other or their loved ones or something and moved on. Same with like we know he took the form of Reen at one point, and I didn't see her there. Granted, just because we saw some doesn't mean we've seen all the ones that are following him, right? But the ones we saw were March, Gugu, Tonari, and Oniguma, right? It was only those 4. Another question I have is the Black One aware of these spirits? Or is this something that even he can't see? Does he know these guys are following him around? I don't know. But I mean, he did talk about what did he call it a few episodes ago? It was like another word for soul, right? I wrote it down, Phi, right? Like he knew about the Phi and that the spirit separates from the body and stuff, but I just assumed it was like a went to an afterlife kind of thing or something. But it seems like they might linger, or maybe there's a choice, or maybe there's a when you finally like achieve what you like dream of kind of thing. But man, there's going to be some emotional scenes coming up here, guys. If it is possible for somehow Fushi to communicate with these, like if somehow one of these guys can like, I don't know, I wonder if one of them could talk to Bon and be like, hey, tell Fushi this, like something only Gugu would remember or only March would remember kind of thing, just to convince him that he can see them, right? Like, I wonder if we go into that storyline and then we are able to have conversations between Fushi and all of these characters that we've lost. I feel like that's also something that could really help Fushi, like, overcome what he's been dealing with, where he's scared to become attached to people. Like, hell, he could have... Granted, he needs Bon around to do it, right? But he could straight up have just a team of ghost friends that can't be killed by knockers, right? Because they're just spirits. And then he has, like, people that he can talk to and stuff like that. Like I said, obviously it has to always be through Bon, unless, when Bon dies and Fushi's able to take the form, maybe Fushi will gain that ability too, and that would be massive, I mean, they've already established that Fushi gets at least like the physical skills. Like he's better with a bow when he's in, Perona's form than he is in Gugu's form, and that shouldn't be a thing, right? Like if he learned the skills, if he himself learned the skills of archery from Perona's like body, I feel like he should be able to do it in Gugu's body too, right? But it seems like he has to turn into these other forms to do certain things. So, it's just, I wonder if seeing the spirits is one of those things too. But granted, it does stink that if we're gonna have Gugu talking to the people. I wish it could be like say he does get that ability from Bon. That means he has to turn into Bon's form every time he wants to talk to the spirits. And I really want to see Fushi's like, default form that he always goes back to, talking to these people, that we've known so much. I don't want it to be like Bon's form, but we'll see how it all works out. But yeah. Also, the whole reveal of kind of that sparkle of light coming off of Toto when he was talking about Bon and everything. Obviously, Toto seems to like Bon, and obviously the way he ran off, I think it's very clear in a romantic sort of way, right? And then it's the same thing that we saw coming off of Kahaku, which once again, kind of like the spirits we've had before, I dismissed as being just an anime thing of like, oh, that's just that little bit of light is just like, showing the audience that Kahaku likes this form that Fushi's in, But no, like Fushi's actually kind of I think it's more of a visual cue. Like I think it's something that Fushi's feeling. I don't think Fushi actually sees that little ball of light coming off him, right? But I think Fushi can sense it, right? That and it's showing the audience in a way of Fushi sensing that feeling of love. And it's something that he hasn't really like learned much of yet, so it's like a new sensation that he's figuring out. So but yeah, this episode, man, depending on where they take it, it could get into some pretty crazy, pretty emotional, like pretty exciting stuff. I would love to be able to talk to all these characters again that we've lost, and see like hell, I even just want to learn a little bit more about the afterlife and what they've learned about it. Like they've been, in a way, it's their form of immortality, because they've been around. March has been gone for 200 years, and roughly, and she's still walking right alongside him. She hasn't aged or anything. Like, what kind of hardships is that for them? Is there a way to move on and they just chose not to because they wanted to stay by his side, right? Like, what do they know of this afterlife that they're in? Like, I wonder if we're gonna learn any more. I mean, we have to learn more about it, right? After this reveal, I feel like we have to. So, but anyways, guys, I'm excited for more. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more content from me. You can see 2 more episodes ahead of time through the early access tier. You can also see shows that aren't released yet on my Patreon, like Better Call Saul and Symphogear are 2 shows that I watch on there. If you want to support me further, you can grab that Patreon exclusive tier and check that out. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.